Yeah, thanks, Anirudh. I hope my slides are visible.
Yes.
So, I will be talking on this topic of when not to treat, in the sense when are the some conditions where there is some changes on OCT or ICG or FA, but it may be avoidable to treat, or it is best not to treat, or sometimes it is debatable. I would recommend that the audience who have not gone through this issue of BRSI newsletter December 2019 was moderated by Dr. Muna Bhende on pachychoroid disease spectrum. It has very important questions as a expert panel, and with a lot of examples they have been explained in that. That the first question which has been asked, that's a very important question. How do you differentiate pachychoroid and pachychoroid disease? Is that important? Because it becomes important that sometimes you don't have to treat something just because it is not normal. So pachychoroid means that it's a thick choroid, but pachychoroid disease means that there is some pathological change in the different layers of the choroid, mainly the choriocapillaris and compression of choriocapillaris and satellar layer. As you can see on the right hand side picture, there is compression of the choriocapillaris which is causing fluid exudation. Whereas on the left hand side, it is just a thickened choroid. You can see the halar layer is quite thick, but there is no compression of the satellar layer or the choriocapillaris, and you don't see any pathological exudation in the retina. So just because there is pachychoroid doesn't mean that it is a diseased eye. So you don't have to necessarily treat just a simple pachychoroid. What about some other examples? Pachychoroid pigment epitheliopathy, you can see the ICG and FA showing changes, but overall, if the patient has no exudation, there may be changes of damage due to old pachychoroid disease, but if there is no activity in terms of fluid, you may just observe such cases. You also have patients who have severe foveal atrophy. This is a patient with an old CSR as autofluorescence shows, and you can see the choroid is extremely thick, and you can see also the choriocapillaris is damaged. But right now it's in an atrophic stage, an old scar. You don't have to treat these patients. Looking at recurrence, let us say on in PCV patients, recurrence on ICG can be in different stages. While I'll be showing some examples where the branching vascular network will always persist. Like this is one case where the BVN is persisting, uh, but over time you may have some fine vascularity coming up. You may have polyps also coming up at a much later stage, but just because there is a network, or you see some polyp still persisting, but on OCT there is still dryness, there is no fluid, you may choose to observe those patients because you can never get rid of the networks. But the other thing is whether you treat the polyp, you are whether you are Everest type person or a planet type person, that is the polyps are inactive versus you want to completely regress the polyp. Both schools of thought are there. But if you are looking at only polyp and there is no fluid, you may choose to observe, or you may want to do thermal laser also. You can do it if they are extrafoveal. But that's a debate. But on the lower pictures, you can see that there is PD, there is fluid accumulation. So at this point of time, if there is fluid, then you have to treat. But just the presence of a network doesn't qualify for treatment. Obvious case in this, the last row, if you want to see, this patient has PCV treated multiple times. The bottom picture shows macular scar. You don't treat those kind of scar patients. The same patient, she has been following up regularly except during COVID. Starting from 2009, this is how it was. In 2018, the ICG shows large feeder vessels, just the presence of these vessels. Her OCT has been dry, but she has not received any injection in the last many years. But just the presence of these vessels does not qualify. These are mature vessels, by the way. They don't qualify for treatment. Isolated PED is quite debatable. We do see many patients like this who have a PED subfoveal. They have complaints because without complaints they do not come. But when you check them, they may be 6 by 6, and there is no fluid, and you are always debating whether we should go ahead and treat. Some of the injections are not effective. Brolucizumab is effective in reducing sub-RP fluid, but it has its own challenges. But if you don't have intraretinal or subretinal fluid, or if you are worried that the patient may have an RP rip, sometimes it may be good to observe. But again, it's a debate with a significant amount of time spent on discussion with the patient. You may want to consider treatments, uh, especially in patients who have very good vision with such PED. What about another entity where you have non-exudative CNVM? This is a patient who just came to us for regular checkup. His vision was 6 by 6 in both the eyes. And you can see, incidentally, we picked up on OCT angiography in the outer retina and choriocapillaris some flow signals. OCT did not show any fluid, and this is the left eye. You can see this clear flow signal, and on FA and ICG, both the eyes showed hyperfluorescent spots. This is the ICG, which is showing a plaque, so which confirms basically that there is CNVM. There was no artifact as such, but since there was, this is the left eye showing again the plaque. You can see on the OCT B scans at 12-month follow-up, there is no fluid. You can but see the definite double layer sign or the separation of RP and Brooks and the flow signals. Definitely there is CNVM, but there is no fluid. And this patient has been now observed for more than 2 years with no fluid or activity right now. He has not received any injection. He is still maintaining 6 by 6. This is the left eye. At 1 year, there is no fluid. Same way, if you have a patient with PCV, you have like a similar case I had showed earlier. You have plaque, you have a polyp. Now, if they are extrafoveal, as you can see here, uh, near the inferior temporal arcade, just see a thumb-like polyp. You may wish to choose these kind of patients unless the patient has some symptoms or develops some fluid. So again, as per the guidelines, Asia Pacific guidelines for PCV, uh, asymptomatic PCV may be observed in some cases, but again, it's a decision which the treating physician has to take, considering various other factors and the patient's preference. So in conclusion, pachychoroid or thick choroid is different from pachychoroid disease. Just the presence of thick choroid doesn't mean that it's pathological. Scar, foveal atrophy, and isolated BVN without fluid need not be treated. PED or quiescent PCV, they are debatable. You may want to discuss with the patient and see what kind of patients may require treatment. Non-exudative CNV, we have had multiple series of presentations, publications also, especially Dr. Phil Rosenfeld, long-term follow-up. They do show that in majority of the patients, they are quiet, and at this point of time, you may want to just observe them. So thank you very much for your kind attention.